Ordinances and Mississippi law. This meeting is being broadcast and recorded for the public not in attendance. We will follow the published agenda. Public comments will be taken only when an item is open for public hearing. Need a roll call.
William Jones. Here. Steve Stratton.
Here.
Mark Long.
Here.
Dion Jones.
Here.
Donna Singh.
Here.
Janice Lewis.
Here.
Diana Singer.
Here.
All right, everybody's had a chance to look at the minutes from the last meeting. Are there any comments, questions, suggestions, or edits of the minutes? If not, I'll ask for a motion to approve the minutes.
I make a motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Diane. Have a second?
I'll second.
A second with Bill. Road LLC. The 3.55 plus or minus acre subject property is Zone C4, Planned Commercial District, and is located at the southeast corner of Alexander Road and Highway 302, known as 7400 Alexander Road. The request is to remove the stormwater retention pond requirements and to amend the original development plan. I think this was, the applicant had requested this to be tabled. All right. This has been requested to be tabled, so I'll need a motion to table, or any comments?
Motion to table.
Motion, all right. Motion to table from Steve Stratton. I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mark Long. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion to table passes. Number 2, consideration of an application for the second revision of Bridges of Camp Creek, Phase 2, Lot 12, submitted by Shay Skeen Engineering on behalf of property owner Deepak Patel. The request is to divide the existing 2.93 plus or minus acre Lot 12 into 2 lots. The subject property is Zone C4, Planned Commercial District, and is located at the east end of McGregor Crossing, approximately 700 feet east of the intersection of McGregor Crossing and East Bridges Drive. Could we have a staff report?
Thank you. Yes, the applicant is requesting to divide one platted C4 lot into 2 separate lots for commercial development at the eastern end of McGregor Crossing, a private commercial road between Highway 302 and Camp Creek. No zoning amendment is required, as this proposal to subdivide is keeping within the general scope of that project text and preliminary development plan for the existing subdivision. So it's just that one lot being split. Here are both proposed lots on the plat that was submitted. So this satisfies all the shape requirements for lots within the subdivision regulations. Next up, we have the utilities leading to that lot. So currently there are all the necessary utilities leading up to the lot proposing to be split. And here's an explanation from the subdivision regulations on the requirements. So under the easement section of the subdivision design standards, utility easements must be provided on plats. 2 sewer easements are drawn through Lot 12A, one of which extends to Lot 12B. 2 drainage easements are drawn through Lot 12A, both of which extending to Lot 12B. However, there is no gas easement drawn through Lot 12A. To reach 12B, this should be added to the plat, as there is a 5-foot gas easement running along the northern border of lots 1 through 11. If you look at I'll point out that there's a 36-foot ingress-egress easement drawn across McGregor, crossing on the 3 plats for Phase 1A, Phase 1B, and Phase 2, spanning across the northernmost portion of land within lots 1 through 11 and stopping at the edge of Lot 12. The proposed plat shows a 24-foot ingress easement right here, connecting to that existing 36-foot ingress egress easement. Thank you. So right here's that 24-foot easement in gray, but if you look right here, across all the other lots, you have a 36-foot ingress egress easement. And this is also slightly off-centered from it, so we're requesting that it be aligned and matched up with that other dimension. And then as far as these other easements, we take no issue with that. It fits along with the drive on the southern portion of the lots, so that part is fine. And so staff does recommend approval of the request, and the only things we added there are to add that 5-foot gas easement along the northern boundary of Lot 12A to connect to Lot 12B, and then, like I just mentioned, increase the northern access easement to 36 feet to match the width and location of that lot, on Lot 11, in order to ensure the extension of the existing road and sidewalk in the same dimensions. And that concludes the presentation.
Appreciate that, thank you. Yeah, any questions for staff? Is the applicant here to present?
Hello. My name is actually Greg Russell. I'm with Civil Source Engineering and Land Surveying, and Mr. Skeen had a conflict and asked me to come and help him out this evening. So you got me instead of him.
Yep.
He indicated from our discussion that he didn't have any issues with the comments, and so I have a limited knowledge of the area, but I can answer any questions that you may have.
Thank you. Any questions for the applicant's representative? Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anyone to speak in opposition of this application? All right, so I'll open it up to the commission for any discussion. And ask for a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve based on staff's recommendations.
Motion to approve by Donnie Singh. Can I have a second?
Second.
A second by Steve Stratton. Any other comments, questions about the motion? All right, all those in favor? Say aye. Any opposed? The motion passes. Number 3, a new business consideration of an application for the first revision of Lot 3 of the second revision of the G.D. Deffelman subdivision submitted by Shay Skeen, Skeen Engineering, on behalf of property owner Peggy Poff, hope I didn't get that wrong, and Lisa Marie Reisinger, property owners. The request is to divide the existing 5.45 plus or minus acre Lot 3 into 2 lots. The subject property is zoned AR, Agricultural Residential District, and is located at the northwest corner of College Road and McElroy Farms Drive. We have the staff report.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. To bring us up to where we are here, this would be south on 305, or just past Church Road, coming up to the intersection of College and 305. A landmark would be the Dollar General. We're going to take a left and head east on College Road, probably 2 miles into College Road. On the north side of College Road is where we'll find this piece of property at. At this time, it is just this area along with this area, so Lot 1 and up to Lot 2. Lot 3 is in the middle. So the proposed use is for single-family residences. As you said, there are 2 lots, Lot 3 and Lot B. That's Lot 3A and Lot 3B. Lot 3A is landlocked, so existing easement will be used that serves Lot 1, as you can see here. This heads north, and that will extend. You will notice in your recommendation that the maintenance of this road be shared between the 3 lots. The final plat does meet the applicable zoning requirements. No sidewalks are currently in the vicinity. Staff does find that the sidewalk requirement may be waived, and staff recommends approval subject to multiple conditions. As you can see here, the lots are 2 lots. They're both zoned AR. They both meet the minimum lot size of 1 acre for the AR district. They both meet the setback requirements, the lot widths. The building setback line is at least 110 feet. The plat does meet all zoning requirements. Here are their next steps. The applicant does not request a variance or a deviation from the standards of the zoning ordinance. That is for the waiver part. So you'll notice that the sidewalks were waived, staff does not find that there any variance or deviation warranted. You can see staff recommendation and next steps are upon recommendation by the Planning Commission to forward to the Board of Mayor of Alderman. When approved, the board, the said plat will need to be recorded. Once the plat has been recorded, a building permit may be issued for development on the lot. See staff's recommendation. That is the conclusion of my presentation. Happy to take any questions.
Thank you. Any questions for staff? I've got one, and this is just for my edification. What if there's a dispute on the cross-access easement? If I buy 3A and the person on 3B doesn't clean up a tree falls, what is the legal, how is it legally binding that they'll take care of it? What's the legal binding?
So hypothetically, a tree falls.
Yeah.
Does the tree fall on the easement or does the tree fall on the lot?
On the easement.
On the easement.
In front of 3B, so
Yes,
to
sir.
speak.
You'll notice you have an exhibit there with your plat. On that plat, there is a note that does talk about shared maintenance of the cross-access easement. Is it a condition? It is not a condition because I had it added to the plat.
Okay.
So it is on the plat about the shared access easement along with the maintenance, paving, and widening. You will notice that it is a requirement for the driveways to be paved.
Mhm. And so, and that's on the notes in the plat, the owners of lot 1, 3A, and 3B shall be responsible for driveway widening, paving, and maintenance. Is that the legal teeth in behind it? Okay, that's all I was looking for. All right. Is the applicant here to present?
Yes, Greg Russell with Civil Source again. I'll be happy to answer any questions that you may have.
All right.
It's pretty straightforward.
All right. Thank you. Any questions for the applicant's representation? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anyone to speak in opposition of this application? Nope. All right. I'll open it up for the commission for discussions and ask for a motion.
I make a motion to approve, subject to the staff recommendation 1 through 6.
All right, we've got a motion to approve by Janet Lewis. Do I have a second? I have a second by Bill Jones. Any discussion on the motion? If not, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion passes. On to new business number 4, consideration of an application for the final plat of Shirley Homes subdivision submitted by Greg Russell, Civil Source LLC, on behalf of property owner Scott Lawhorn. The request is to create 4 commercial industrial lots totaling 10.96 plus or minus acres. The subject property is zoned C2, Highway Commercial District, and M1, Light Industrial District, and is located on the northwest corner of Frontage Road and Exchange Drive, known as 8263 Frontage Road. We have a staff report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Again, just to give us some direction here, this is north on 78 up to Craft Road. We'll take a exit there, pull back left and head west. Down to Frontage Road, you can see the water tower shadow here, so we'll take a left in front of that, head north on Frontage Road. There's where we'll find these lots. Mr. Lawhorn has recently paved this back in here. We can also see some truck repair in the front here, and we can see some retail here in C2. So the subject property is currently unplatted. The original, if we were just looking at the property before here, this is 10.4 acres. We're up to 9.6, so 10.96. These are all going to be zoned. You can see here is commercially and 1 M1. The proposed final plat establishes these 4 lots. Public utilities are available for the proposed lots. Staff does recommend approval, subject to various conditions. So we've got a little bit about access and infrastructure here. Proposed lots 1, 2, and 4 have direct well, they don't have direct frontage, but they have frontage onto, using this lot. Lot 4 has access to frontage road, but they have direct access to frontage road, which is a public street. Access to Lot 3 will be provided with a cross-access easement, as you can see here. No additional street improvements to frontage road are required as part of this proposed plat. So again, we talked about it. Here is the final plat. It talks about the 4 lots. It also shows the existing buildings. You can see the C2 and M1 as highlighted with the numbers 1, 2, 3, and 4. These are the bulk regulations which are applicable. All the new lots do meet these zoning and bulk regulations. The existing industrial buildings are shown on the plat. They do apply. They do comply with the applicable setback requirements. Overall, the proposed plat is consistent with the applicable zoning standards. Here is our recommendation, along with just some, if you wanted just to see for yourself which addresses were C2 and which addresses were M1, you can also see the existing land use here and the future land use is industrial distribution, which all of these fit into very well. Again, as we talked about with the last presentation, the next steps beyond you all will be to forward this to the Mayor and Board of Aldermen for consideration. When approved, the said board, when approved, the plat would need to be recorded. Once the plat has been recorded, a building permit may be issued. So with the recommendation of the Shirley Home subdivision, here are the 6 conditions, and that concludes staff's presentation.
Thank you. Are there any questions for staff?
I had a question concerning just the zoning, overall zoning of all 4 lots. If it looks, now I may be wrong, but I see on the chart it says camper storage for lot 4. Does that include like truck storage, and does the C2 zoning accommodate that? Like if they did decide to park trucks there, or would that rather have to be an M1?
C2 zoning, truck storage, depends on, what kind of truck storage we're getting into, but it's, truck storage would be permissible if it is a paved lot and there
Okay.
is direct access
It
to
would cover that
frontage
in
road, so-
C2?
Sir?
It would cover that in C2? It wouldn't have to be an industrial zoning?
Well, what we can do here is refer to our zoning ordinance and find that out for you.
The question was, would the C2 zoning allow for truck storage?
Back on that back lot on lot number 4, that was my main concern. So.
And you're talking semi
Yeah,
trucks, tractor
semi
trailers.
tractor trailers and stuff. Yeah.
All right. Are there any other questions for staff? No? Is the applicant here?
Last time, I promise. Greg Russell with Civil Source, representing Ms. Shirley Holmes and Scott Lawhorn this evening on this. The purpose of this plat is to, staff mentioned that lots 1 and lot 3 are retail. Lot number 3 is feral gas, and in that particular lot, they fill up the 5-pound tanks for grills. And then on lot number 1, they are renting that and remodeling it, I guess, so that they can fill the big residential tanks. So it'll be 2 different divisions of the same name of the company, but they operate separately. And so with the modifications that they want to do to the site to accommodate those big tanks, required it to be platted, required to build a permit, and required to be platted. We were able to give that extra property that he discussed on the south side there because they also own that adjacent 20 acres too, so. That's all I have. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer.
All right, any questions for the applicant?
Same question. What's lot 4 being used for right now? I know it says camper storage, but.
No, I'm sorry, I can't hear.
No, no problem. What's lot 4 being used for currently as it sits right now?
At this time, I don't know.
Okay.
There's been several things that have been kicked around, and I don't know. I don't have that updated image, and I know he's paved it. It looks like he's striped it, so I don't know. You know, the Roy Holmes and Scott Lawhorn have, Mr. Roy's passed, but they operate a construction company, paving company, so it could be to store some of their stuff. I don't really know. Because Scott was using lot number 1 as his personal storage space for his equipment. And so since Farrell took that, then maybe he's just moving it to the back. I don't know.
And so right now, the reason you're having it plotted is for construction on lot 1, is that right?
That's correct. Specifically, they want to build a dock back there in between where it says lot number 1 and this building. They want to build a dock there, and that would be a concrete dock, and it's raised so the employees can get up there, mess with, fill the tops of the tanks, and it also gives them safety from, an impediment from the truck. And then it's also going to proposed to have a I like to call them carports, the metal with the thin metal over the top of it, just to keep the employees out of the weather. But that's what they want to do.
And you can't get a building permit unless it's platted, and the plat is recorded.
Correct.
Correct.
Catch 22.
Yeah. All right. Any questions for the applicant? All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Staff, did you have that?
Yes, upon referring back to the zoning ordinance, again, we did not find that truck storage drop yard would be permissible in that back storage lot.
Okay. So I'll come back to Greg, if I may. The image that we're looking at looks like it is striped for tractor trailer storage. In fact, there's some trailers out there. And you said C2 would not allow that? I'm sorry, yeah, C2 would not allow that?
Correct. Right now, what they have back there is camper storage. So what you are seeing from the satellite view is a camper storage yard.
So I just want to make sure that if we approve this and they plan on putting semi-trucks back there instead of campers, then if we approve C2, they won't be allowed to do what it looks like the image is showing that they want to do. So I just want to make sure that Shirley Holmes is okay with us approving C2 or considering C2 if it turns out that they really wanted to park something different back there.
So the campers are okay and the trucks are not?
Mr. Chairman, if I may comment on that. First, the application before the board is,
Yeah, just want to understand.
the application before the planning commission is for a subdivision plat, not to rezone the property to C2.
Right.
So,
Oh, okay.
the application before the planning commission is approving the subdivision plat, not a rezoning action. The property is already zoned C2. Now, in the C2 zoning district, you can have camper storage. You cannot have truck storage or kind of drop yard trucking activity. But the property owner can park their own trucks. That is different from everybody driving and come and kind of renting the property to park their trucks like you have in drop yards. The property owner can park their own trucks, which are part of their business, It's like employees parking their own cars on their property. That is permitted in the C2 district. But if you wanted to turn it into a drop yard,
Yeah.
means anybody can come now from elsewhere and park trucks and so on, that will have to be a conditional use in the M1 or M2 zoning district.
All right, thank you,
So Ferragas is permitted to park Ferragas trucks
All right.
on that property.
thank you.
You're welcome, sir.
All right.
Yes, so if he wants to change that use to that use, then we would have to come back for a zoning on that to make it compliant.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Mhm.
Is there anyone to speak in opposition or in favor of this application? Nope. All right. I'll bring it back to the commission for discussion, ask for a motion.
Make a motion to approve based on staff's recommendations.
Motion to approve by Donnie Singh, can I have a second?
Second.
I've got a second from Mark Long. Any discussion on the motion? No? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The motion passes.
Thank you very much. And I appreciate y'all letting us do them for saying, I mean, for safety. Do I have some more? So, anything, thoughts on it, I'll hang on.
One more, you can't leave yet. All right, consideration of an application for the third revision of Ross Road Plaza subdivision submitted by Shay Skeen, Skeen Engineering, on behalf of property owner Marvin Boland. The request is to divide the existing 4.80 plus or minus acre Lot 1 into 3 lots. The subject property is zoned C2, Highway Commercial District, and is located at the southeast corner of Ross Road and West Sandage Road, known as 5950 Ross Road. Can we have a staff presentation?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just to get you dialed in on the location, this is the final plat for the third revision of Ross Road Plaza. It is located on the southeast corner of the intersection of West Sandage Road, right here, and Ross Road, right here. There is a convenience store located directly on the corner, but this application deals with these lots, Lot 1, Lot 2, and Lot 3. These are the suggested lots. The parent tract is 4.8 acres. It is Zone C2 Highway Commercial District. As I stated previously, it is at the southeast corner of the intersection, or roughly the southeast corner. There are public utilities available, namely sewer, water, and gas. The future land use designation is neighborhood commercial, as you can see right here. Moving along, I've included some site pictures of the existing buildings that are on site. This is the West Sandage Road frontage. Here, West Sandage Road, Ross Road here, and another, the Lot 3, proposed Lot 3, Ross Road. The bulk regulations are front setback 50 feet. There is no side setback in C2, and the rear setback is 20 feet. The maximum building square footage is 10,000 square feet. So here's the submitted plat. It's pretty straightforward. Lot 1, Lot 2, and Lot 3. I will note, and you'll see this in the staff recommendation, that staff does require, as does the subdivision regulations, that the plat include the existing buildings. The applicant is aware, and they're going to submit a revised plat before the Board of Aldermen. That will be in the recommendation. So our next step is, upon recommendation by the Planning Commission, the final plat will be presented to the Board of Aldermen for approval, and the plat would have to be recorded before any building permits can be issued for construction upon any of the lots. So I'll move on to the recommendation, and you'll see what I just mentioned. Staff does recommend approval of the final plat of the third revision of Ross Road Plaza minor lot subdivision, subject to these following conditions. I'll note number 5, add the following to the plat before it may be presented to the Board of Aldermen. The right-of-way dimensions of both Ross Road and West Sandage, or the total right-of-way width of each, and importantly, the location of all buildings on all lots, including Lot 3. That concludes staff presentation.
Thank you. Do we have any questions for staff? Is the applicant here to present?
Guess I'm up again.
Yep.
Greg Russell with Civil Source. I don't have anything to add for this plat.
Any questions for the applicant? Nope, thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anyone speaking in opposition to this application? No. All right. I'll open it up for the commission for discussion and ask for a motion.
Motion to approve, subject to staff conditions.
All right. We got a motion to approve from Steve Stratton. Have a second?
Second.
Yeah, have a second from Diane Sanger. Any discussion on the motion? All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion passes. All right, number 6, consideration of an application for the final plat of Redeemer Baptist Church submitted by Rusty Norval, Civil Engineering Solutions LLC, on behalf of property owner Redeemer Baptist Church. The request is to create a single lot of 2.35 plus or minus acres. The subject property is zoned R2, Single Family Residential District, and is located on the south side of Catherine Drive, approximately 300 feet southwest of the intersection of Catherine Drive and Highway 178, known as 5050 Catherine Drive. We have a staff report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This final plat is located on the southeast side of Catherine Drive, right here. Here's Highway 78, right here. There's a close-up shot right here. Here's the church sanctuary. As I said, it's on the southeast side of Catherine Drive, right here. There is a 2.35 acre parent parcel. It is zoned R2, single family residential, and public utilities are available. I think it's important to note that the applicant has submitted a revised plat from what's in your packet. The applicant submitted the revised plat in order to include the building on the plat. The originally submitted plat didn't have the building, so we requested that he put the building on the plat, and he did submit it to us. He sent it to me yesterday. So I did put it in the presentation here. It was revised on 8/10/26 to add the buildings, as you can see right here. It's a pretty straightforward plat. The next steps would be approval by the Board of Aldermen, and the final plat must be recorded before any building permits may be issued for the construction of permitted uses on the lots as proposed. So, staff recommendation is staff recommends approval of the final plat for Lot 1, Redeemer Baptist Church, subject to the following conditions. As you can see, 1 through 6. I did strike through item 4 because he did submit that revised plat that does now presently show the location of all buildings on the proposed lot. That concludes staff presentation.
Thank you. Are there any questions for staff?
Yeah, just for my edification, as the new guy on the board, what constitutes the waiving of the sidewalk? What do you have to show to waive that?
Generally, if sidewalks are not predominant in the area, we don't require construction of sidewalks along. If there's no sidewalks there in the area, then we don't require sidewalks to be constructed. Yeah, there's no sidewalks along Catherine.
Any other questions for staff? Is the applicant here to present?
Good evening. My name is Rusty Norval with Civil Engineering Solutions, 317 West Market in Dyersburg, Tennessee. I don't have anything to add. I've been working with staff. They've been helpful, so that's where we are. I'm available for questions.
All right, thank you. Any questions for the applicant? No, thank you.
Thanks.
Is there anyone here to speak in opposition of this application or in favor? If not, I'll open it up to the commission for discussion and ask for a motion.
I make a motion to approve,
Motion to approve.
subject to the conditions listed.
Second.
Motion to approve by Janet Lewis, subject to conditions 1, 2, 3, 5, and 6. And we have a second from Mark Wong. Any discussion on the motion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion passes. Number 7, consideration of an application for the final plat of Ortiz Minor Lot subdivision submitted by Greg Russell, Civil Source LLC, on behalf of property owners USA Land Investing LLC and Aricnio Ortiz Escarano. I apologize if I messed that up. The request is to create 3 single-family residential lots totaling 14.50 plus or minus acres. The subject property is zoned AR Agricultural Residential District and R3 Planned Residential District, and is located on the east end of State Line Road, east, approximately 600 feet east of the intersection of State Line Road East and Les Larkin Lane. Can we have a staff report?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As we discussed before the meeting, the applicant has requested to table this application until the September 8th, 2026 meeting, so he can submit revised information.
All right. So we have a request to table by the applicant. In order to move forward, need a motion from the commission.
Motion to table.
Motion to table from Bill Jones, second?
Second.
Ooh. We'll give a second to Diane Sanger. Any discussion on the motion? If not, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Number 8, consideration of an application for the final plat of DeSoto County Schools Career Technical Center East subdivision submitted by Jay Kaufman, Allen and Hoschel, Inc., on behalf of property owner DeSoto County Schools. The request is to create a single lot of 42.50 plus or minus acres to be used for the Career Technical Center. The subject property is zoned AR Agricultural Residential and is located on the east side of Craft Road in the southeast corner of the future expansion of West Sandage Road and Craft Road. Can we have a staff report?
Mr. Chairman, Planning Commissioners, before you is a request to consider a one-lot subdivision plat for the DeSoto County Schools Career Center East. You had acted on the rezoning of this particular 42.50 acres, as it were, from the Funderburg PUD to the ARO zoning district, specifically for the purpose of the construction of this school. That rezoning application was approved by the Board of Aldermen. With regard to the location, this is Church Road East. I think there's a convenience store with fuel pumps under construction at this location. This is Craft. So if you just get to the intersection of Church Road and Craft and you head north towards Goodman Road, it would be at this general location where the existing right-of-way for West Sandwich Road intersects with Craft Road North. So that is a subject property under consideration is Zone AR Agricultural Residential. Utilities such as gas lines, sewer lines are generally available in the vicinity of this property. there is no public water available to this particular 42.50 acres. However, in order to service the proposed school, the city of Olive Branch is committed to extending water to this piece of property. So all public utility infrastructures will be available at the time this is developed. Staff has already received construction plans for administrative review and approval for the Career Tech. This is the plat as proposed. It meets zoning regulations and subdivision regulations of the city. Staff recommends approval subject to the general conditions 1 to 5. We should call attention specifically to condition number 4 and for a reason. Condition number 4 provides that if the Board of Aldermen approves the rezoning, project text, and associated preliminary development plan for the DeSoto Innovation District to the west of the subject property, then the developer of the subject lot shall construct just 5 feet wide sidewalks along the street frontage of the property. If the board denies the said rezoning and associated development plans, the developer of the subject lot shall construct an 8 feet wide trail section along the street frontage of the property. You will recall the DeSoto Innovation District is proposed to be on the east side, on the west side of Craft Road. Per the plans of that district, Nail Road at this location is intended to cross at about this point. And the trail system coming from the ball fields will go along Church, extend on Craft, and if the DeSoto Innovation District is approved, then the trail will cross at this point into the DeSoto Innovation District property. And as such, the trail will not extend to the 42.50 acre lot under consideration. If that is the case, then all you really need in the front of this property is the general sidewalks as required in the city. You will not need a trail. However, if that is denied, then the vision is basically to carry that trail up to the property for the DeSoto Innovation District, have a trail head there, and kind of terminate the trail at that point. So that's really what that particular number 4 is intended to address. The Board of Aldermen was our hope at the time of this report that before this meeting, maybe the decision would have been made as far as the DID is concerned. The Board of Aldermen tabled that application to September 8th. So even at the next meeting when this will be decided, the fate of the DeSoto Innovation District will still be up in the air. So that is why you have that condition number 4. That concludes staff's presentation. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any questions for staff? Is the applicant here?
Good evening, Chairman and Planning Commission members and staff. My name is Chris Ashbrand. I'm an architect with Allen & Hoschel. Here to answer any questions and then also just ask for a couple clarifications on staff recommendations. The first question I had was, I believe it was the first staff recommendation, that improvement shall be the responsibility of the developer. Mr. Asong had previously mentioned that Olive Branch had committed to extending the water to the site, so just requesting clarification that the water is still expected to be provided by the city of Olive Branch to the site, and the other improvements would be by the developer. And then the second item was the item number 4. It's kind of a timing issue, and I think we could work through it. We've had meetings as recent as today with DCS. The project is DeSoto County Schools. The project is currently out for bid. There's a lot of dirt work on the site that we're trying to get underway before winter weather comes, because this facility, the school system needs this to be operational in the fall of 2028, and we anticipate that it's about an 18-month construction window. So in speaking with the superintendent of DCS, they're going to provide, they're going to commit to doing whatever 5-foot wide sidewalk or 8-foot wide sidewalk that is required. It's just the timing of it. We need to get this project under construction before we hit winter weather. So I guess the first question, the 8-foot wide trail section, is that just similar to a 5-foot wide concrete sidewalk, but it's just an 8-foot wide version, or is it something above and beyond the width of the concrete sidewalk?
Do you want to answer the questions now, or we'll wait? All right. Those are your two questions? Well, we will answer the questions.
Sure, sure. And just again, just to stress that we're trying to get this project under construction and pull a permit. We actually received bids on this project September 1st. I understand that the Innovation District meeting got tabled, or the discussion of that got tabled until the 8th. So again, in speaking with DCS, they will provide whatever sidewalk. We actually have an allowance in the bid to cover whatever the sidewalk is in excess of what we anticipate the cost being. So just understanding that we're trying to get this project under construction because of expected winter weather bringing wet at this time of year necessary. We need it, but we just know there's a lot of dirt work to move. So that's all, just the timing of it.
All right, well, and we will answer your questions. Are there any questions for the applicant? No questions for the applicant? We can go ahead and, I've got a question. I've got a question for staff. So the trail section that's been constructed, that the city's constructed from the ball fields, is that what you're looking for at this location as well? I don't know, and I don't know if you've seen that trail section, but I'll let staff answer that question.
Yes, to begin with your question, yes, this will be an extension of the trail system from the ball fields. But within the ball fields area, it is more of a nature's trail. So this is the area, this is Ross Road. The trail system kind of mingles inside this forest area, so it's more of a nature trail. Asphalt, 10 feet wide also. When it gets along Craft, you really don't have that forest environment to give it a more of a nature trail look. It becomes almost like a wider sidewalk, to use the expression that he used. The same has been constructed, section of it has been constructed behind this convenience store with fuel pumps. It's basically a wider sidewalk, concrete sidewalk, if we can put it that way. If you have to construct that in front of this property, as we discussed in the office, it will basically be within the public right-of-way. There is enough right-of-way there. From the edge of asphalt on Craft to the end of the property line is over 25 feet wide. So there is enough room there to put whether a 5 feet or an 8 feet wide sidewalk, if you can put it that way. And if you look at it as a trail, to still give it that kind of a nature feel, it would be good that it be positioned. Usually we require street trees to be planted every 35 feet along the public street frontage. So to still give you that kind of nature feel, especially when the trees grow to maturity, it would be good that whether it's a trail or a sidewalk, be positioned behind the trees. So you've got Craft Road, you plant the trees, and then you put a trail behind it. In that way, you kind of use the trees to separate the trail from the cars on the road, so to speak. So that is a design we looked at. And I think that in some regard addresses your question in terms of whether it's a sidewalk, you're just making it 8 feet wide, yes. And it will need to be shown on the construction plans. My advice will be, it's always better to over budget and then cut it off than to under budget. So you can design it as 8 feet wide from the very beginning and then bid it as such. If you have to then amend it based on whatever the board decides on September 1st, if you have to amend it to, the construction plans and reduce it to 5 feet, then it's easier to do at that time. That would be my advice. Then condition number 1, which you call attention to, taking this up to the Board of Aldermen, that will be revised to add that water will be the responsibility of the city.
Mm-hmm. And is it better for us to put on-site improvements since the city is going to do, or should we specify the water?
The water is really the only thing that the city is committed to doing as far as the subdivision infrastructure is concerned. Every other on-site improvements, parking lot, the buildings, all of that is being done by the DeSoto County school system.
And, it says in here, 2.31, the city of Olive Branch is committed to extending a public water line. So it's in the document, and it'll be in our, if it's approved.
Understood.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, look, I'm sorry, were there any questions?
Yeah,
Okay.
so will this create and I don't know if this is for you or for them, will this create a school zone on that roadway? I understand in the future you're talking about putting this DeSoto Innovation District, which would have some transportation in it. Are we gonna put a school zone right next to that?
When you talk of school zone,
It's talking about the
Like
speed.
reduce the
zone.
speed to 20 miles an hour between certain hours?
it's possible. It's possible. It would depend. The city engineer and the public works department with the police, they'll have to look into that. But it's very, very possible. Because if you start having, depending on the number of kids you start having in there, and what time of the day, and so on and so forth, there are a lot of other factors that take into consideration in declaring whether this should be a school zone at particular times of the day. So it may be the case that maybe you only have kids in there from 3 o'clock to 5 o'clock, then you have to reduce the speed at that time. It just depends. But that will be something that we'll look at down the line. DeSoto Innovation District it's a different ball game, different from what is happening on this particular piece of property. As a district, the DeSoto Innovation District, as a district, is basically just a planned development. They're just using the name district. It's just a name, so to speak. It's just a large planned development on over 600 acres. Yeah. But yes, it's possible that the speed in that area may be reduced, but that's something down the line which the Public Works Department, the city engineer, the police, they will all take a look at that and determine whether that needs to be done or not.
You good with that?
Just clarify something for me. I'm a little bit confused. The DeSoto Innovation District modifications that were required by the Board of Aldermen last week, and is that coming back to us on September 8th after they make those adjustments?
No, ma'am.
Okay, good. Thank you. I didn't think so, but thank you.
All right, any other questions to staff? All right, I guess continue commission discussion and ask for a motion.
Well, let me say no with a caveat.
Yes.
Let me say no with a caveat. At this point, the motion did not include them to come back. But if the scale of the changes that are made if it is too broad, if it is too many changes are made, it's possible that the board may look at it and say it's good that the planning commission put its eye on this. So that's a decision for the board to make on September 8th, but on September 1st. But at this point, no.
Thanks.
All right. I'll ask for a motion.
Motion to approve, subject to the recommendations stated.
I've got a motion to approve by Janet Lewis. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Donnie Singh. Any discussion on the motion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion passes. And number 9, consideration of an application for the second revision of Dancing Oaks planned commercial subdivision submitted by Dylan Walker, Houston Engineering, on behalf of Yasser Saleh, property owner. The request is to divide the existing lot 1 of 7.01 plus or minus acres into 3 lots. The subject property is zoned C4, Planned Commercial District, and is located at the northeast corner of Progress Way and Hacks Cross Road. We have a staff report.
Thank you, sir. Before you say request to consider essentially a replat of Lot 1 of the Dancing Oaks, this is area 1 of this planned commercial district. The existing plat of lots layout essentially in this area 1 is Lot 1 and Lot 2. Give you an idea of where we are in the city. This is Progress Way going into Legacy Park, Industrial Park. This is Hacks Cross Road. intersection to the intersection at this point. This is Wise Manor subdivision. So the piece of property you are looking at is directly across the street from Wise Manor subdivision. A convenience store with fuel pumps has recently been constructed on Lot 1. What the applicant proposes to do essentially is to split Lot 1 into 3 lots. Lot 1A, Lot 1B, and Lot 1C. 1A and 1C will be 1.36 acres, and 1B will be 4.29 acres. 1B will have the existing convenience store with fuel pumps. There are easements, basically the drive aisles that connect all these 3 lots are designated on the plat as cross-access easements for the benefit of all 3 lots. This area designated here in blue is a shared stormwater management area, regional in character as such, to be used by Lot 1, proposed Lot 1A, 1B, and 1C, and Lot 2. So it has been sized, designed and sized such that future development on Lot 2 will benefit that particular easement. For this reason, the hatch area, as shown here, designates that stormwater easement for the benefit of both Lot 2, so part of it lies on Lot 2, and part of it lies on Lot 1B. This is the plat as drawn. It meets the requirements of the subdivision regulations and the zoning ordinance of the city. A key element to point out, this is a planned development, and usually when looking at the subdivision of planned developments, you have to compare it with a preliminary development plan. The preliminary development plan of this property did not conceive the lots to be so laid out, but in a very unique way, it included a language that is not very common with other planned developments in the city. Namely, it called for a maximum floor area ratio, what is called a FAR, in planning, for the development of the entire piece of property and for the development of each lot, which is basically 25%. That is not very common to see in the project text of planned development. What that means is, whatever number of lots the developer proposes, you cannot have more than 25% of that lot basically occupied by the building. If it ends up being a story building, then the sum of, let's say it's 2 floors, the sum of the first and the second floor cannot exceed 25% of the total square footage or area of that lot. If it is 3 stories, the sum of the 3 floors cannot exceed 25% of the entire area of that particular lot. On account of that, it's possible to create or to redesign the lots and lay them out as they are proposed on condition that the development of each lot does not exceed a floor area ratio of 0.25 as stipulated in the project text for Dancing Oaks planned commercial development. That concludes staff's presentation, including a recommendation for all these other conditions 1 through 6. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any questions for staff?
I had a couple questions. This is just for my own knowledge. I'm assuming that the C-store here was built before we passed all the new regulations that now govern C-stores, basically, that it has to be at a red light, it has to get a conditional use permit. We implemented those rules before or after this store was under construction?
Those regulations, interesting question. Those regulations, I see where we're going. Those regulations were, the C-store is vested. So the legal term is,
yeah. There was that 1.5 year period, or what was it, 2 year period?
Yeah, the C-store is vested in the sense that it was approved
Okay.
before the new regulations went into place. So they did not have to get a conditional use permit. They met all the milestones that allowed them to remain vested.
Okay, and that's why this one doesn't have to remain on the hard corner, right?
I'm going to ask the Planning Commission to table this application. I need to consult with legal on something serious. I'm going to ask the Planning Commission to table this application.
All right. We have a request to table by staff. I need a motion.
I'll make a motion to table.
Motion to table by Donnie Singh. Can I have a second?
Yeah, I'll second.
Second by Bill Jones. Any discussion on the motion? No discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion to table passes. Are there any other topics?
It's like a zoning update, if one may say. The regulations that the Planning Commission recommended for the Board of Alderman's consideration regarding updates to the zoning ordinance, data center, signs, all of those, the board has scheduled a public hearing for August 18. So that will be next week, Tuesday. The DeSoto Innovation District, we've talked about that. That was tabled to the September 1st meeting. Just still on other knowledge, other issues for the general knowledge of the Planning Commission, there is an upcoming training for planning commissioners, and I think our city attorney will also be there for that, to give that training. It's coming up on August 19th. Is that next week? Is that Wednesday or Thursday? Next week, is that Wednesday or Thursday, 19th? Next week, Wednesday. So next week, Wednesday, from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Northwest Mississippi Realtor's office in Nesbitt. We're going to send out an email with our address to Planning Commission encouraging you to please attend that particular training session if you can. Something that I also wish to mention, it regards Planning Commission's actions when it comes to rezoning and subdivision regulations. The city has the authority to rezone property, whether an applicant, to put it in a very raw way, whether an applicant requests it or not, whether an applicant, of course, the applicant, whether the property owner approves or not, city has authority to rezone property, which means the Planning Commission has the authority to recommend the rezoning of a piece of property, whether the applicant likes the rezoning or not, whether the applicant likes the particular zoning district or not. Our zoning ordinance says, even at a meeting, Planning Commission can recommend, and the Board of Alderman has authority to act same. If somebody recommends or requests a particular zoning district, you can recommend a lesser zoning district at the meeting. So if somebody comes before the board and says, I want to ask that this property be rezoned to C2, you can recommend that it be rezoned to C1. But you cannot recommend that it be rezoned to C3 without going back and re-advertising and kind of starting afresh. So you can recommend to a lesser zoning district, and you do not need the permission of the applicant to do so, the property owner to do so. The Board of Alderman exercises the same authority. When it comes to subdivision plats, however, that is different. And the city does not have powers to approve or does not approve subdivision plats without it having been requested by the property owner. Affected parties have to be. The city just doesn't plat people's property. In the first place, for you to record, the act of subdivision is never completed until the plat is recorded. So you may recommend it, the Board of Alderman may approve it, but if the property owner says, I'm not recording it, then there was no subdivision. Until the plat is recorded, there is no subdivision. And the plat will not be recorded until the property owner signs on it. So if you approve a plat with a particular condition on it that the property owner doesn't like, the property owner can simply decide, I'm not going to sign and record the plat. And so the act of subdivision never takes place. So in zoning matters, the board can act, the Planning Commission can act with all its powers, whatever way it deems appropriate insofar as it meets the rezoning criteria. But when it comes to subdivision regulations, it is extremely important that we make sure that whoever is standing there representing the application is either the property owner or somebody authorized to speak on the application when it comes to subdivision plats. With regard to the requirement for sidewalks, which I think Mr. William Jones asked, two main elements in the city we take into consideration. In the ARO agricultural residential districts, sidewalks are not required. The reason being the lots there are minimum 1 acre in size, so they are too large, and it doesn't make sense. And usually those are rural estate lots. The traffic on that particular street is very low because the density is very low. Folks can walk on the road without the fear of, coming into contact with too many cars. The density is very low. That's the only district that permits anyone to construct without sidewalks. In every other district in the city, sidewalks are required. If we have a situation as we had today that you don't have sidewalks in the vicinity of the property, then yes, staff may recommend that those sidewalks be waived. If we have a situation where the sidewalks do not exist on the street today, but there are other planned developments along that road that have been approved with requirement for sidewalks, then staff's position will be to require that that particular applicant construct sidewalks. Because basically we are setting it up in a way that in future, all the sidewalks can connect to each other. We're just trying to avoid a situation where you have a sidewalk going to nowhere. Just in front of a piece of property. All right, that concludes any other information staff wanted to provide. Thank you.
Thank you. I've got a quick question, and it's probably more for precedents in the past. There's no need for open up a public hearing for a final plat, but in the past, it has. What is staff's recommendation for final plats or revisions to final plats?
At preliminary plats,
Let me say that, non-controversial. Non-controversial final plats or revisions.
let me step back a bit. At preliminary plat, so we'll do preliminary and then final.
Preliminary, yeah.
Preliminary plats will generally apply when you have major subdivisions. Our recommendation will be, although you do not have a statutory requirement for a public hearing, for preliminary plats, it will be advisable to open it up for public hearing, because let's say you're dealing a preliminary plat subdivision, you're dealing with 50 lots, 100 lots, new streets are being constructed. The neighborhood in some regard is going to be affected by having all these many other lots coming into the area. So it makes sense to open it up for people to talk about the layout on the preliminary plat. Generally at final plat, that preliminary work has been done. The houses have been constructed, or you just have a minor subdivision. If we have a situation where somebody has complained to staff about that plat, maybe they know that the plat is coming up and they feel, oh, there is water coming from this area to our property, how is this going to protect us? If we have that pre-knowledge, and as such that person has requested to address the planning commission, then we will notify you and it will be good to give, to open it up for public hearing and listen to that person. That is at the kind of the chairman's discretion. But a good practice will be to open it up and listen to that particular person if we have had those concerns raised before the hearing. If it's a minor subdivision plat that is really non-controversial, so to speak, some of them you could even put on consent agenda. Just one lot, nothing. You can even put on consent. That's fine. There's no, these things are ministerial. There's no requirement for a public hearing. You can go ahead and act upon it as such. If we find that it is a subdivision plat that has a lot of issues going on, there are street problems, there are stormwater issues, it may be a minor plat, but that neighborhood has got a lot of issues that this plat may be affected in one way or the other, then it may be wise at chairman's discretion to open it up for a public hearing. So sometimes you may look at just how many items you have on your agenda. So if you've got 3 public hearings, one of them is taking 2 hours, you have to ask yourself, do you want to sleep here till midnight, doing public hearings on every item, or do you think this is minor, non-significant enough for you to simply proceed in a ministerial way, conscious that that is not the end. They still have an opportunity at the Board of Aldermen to be heard. So it's really for the chairman to kind of get a feel for it. And if staff thinks that there are issues going on, we will send you an email, we will notify you, we'll let you know before the meeting and say, please, you may want to open this up to listen to the general public on it. And sometimes at the meeting, when folks come in, we kind of feel the floor. We know those who are here to speak on particular items. If we know there are folks here, then we'll let you know. So they don't come and then go home.
I
without
think,
having
I
the
think
person.
everybody scans the parking lot as they come in. All right. Any questions for staff? A motion to adjourn?
I make a motion to adjourn.
I got a motion to adjourn from Diane Sanger. Second? Second from Steve Stratton. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.